Hey guys, it's Heaven.
And Nyja.
And welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world, InHerself podcast,
where we talk about faith, family, finance, and friendship.
So make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe on all streaming platforms.
Period. How was your week?
It was good.
I can tell.
Oh my gosh.
I'm here for the energy.
Nothing special, just in a good space.
Okay, I love that.
Practicing what we preach on this Good Here podcast and implementing it in my life. So yeah, I feel good.
That is amazing. I love that for you.
Are you being funny?
No, I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
See, you played. I'm really being serious.
Okay, good.
Because we've been through some episodes when it was like, it was not good.
No, because it's the truth. And I want to be authentic and be honest with y'all. Like, it was okay. Like, I could complain, but I won't.
But this time, it was a really great week. What made it extra special?
Again, like, the moments in which, because open and honest here, I suffer with depression, like ongoing depression. So I have to just get out my mind. And so this week I've been implementing the tools to not sit there and not get there. And so I just feel refreshed, revived.
Okay.
I feel good. Yeah.
So what tool do you feel like was or is the most effective?
Maintaining relationship, of course, with the Lord, but with me, because I tend to make sure everybody else is good and not me. So that the first thing that I do, I even wake up a little bit earlier in the morning now to have a conversation with God, analyze, because what happened is I get out of bed and then immediately I'm like, all right, today gonna be the day I'm being my feelings. We're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Today is gonna be the day where I feel vibrant. Today is gonna be the day where I feel good. Today is gonna be the day where I look beautiful, and just changing the mindset. And that has been working for me, and I got to keep doing it because I can't go backwards, baby.
So what I hear you saying is you choose how your day is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You command your morning.
I do.
Like Cindy Trim book say.
I got to. Because if I don't, the enemy going to have a field day with that. It's like, all right, today she ain't even speak no affirmations over her life. Bet, I got it. We're going to make her life a living hell today. And I'm like, for what? One, because I don't want to be around myself like that. And I know other people don't want to be around me like that either. So no.
Energy is everything.
Yes.
Altitude and attitude is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a right attitude, your altitude is going to be jacked all the way up.
1,000%.
And you carry that energy in someone else's house, into someone else's job, in the car, like it just shifts people's, and they don't want to be around that.
No,
I don't want to be around that. When I'm carrying it, I don't want to be around that. So
I want it off of me.
Right.
It's like one of them ticks. It's like, it gotta go.
Yeah.
Because it's sucking the life out of me, and I can't live my life like that.
I absolutely love that for you. Oh my God.
And I just can't bring that along the journey of that where I know that God is trying to take me and where I desire for myself. I cannot continue to succeed in the next months. I have a lot of things that I'm trying to obtain, a lot of things that I'm trying to grow into, and I just can't be that same person in the next season. It's just not gonna work.
Listen, we already had this conversation. I've been here for about a year now. Same mentality, same thought process. It starts with me. The common denominator in situations, it was me.
Yeah.
It was how I thought about things. It was how I interpreted, how I received them, even though that's not the way that it was delivered. And so at the end of the day, the work that has to be put in is tiresome. It's scary. It is triggering. But if you really desire to do something different, you have to choose to do it every day.
Every day. Every second.
Every single day. I make up my bed now.
You have to start implementing new things for a new outcome, for a new result.
Let me tell you why I make up my bed now, though, because I don't get back in it. It's all pretty and nice and made up, and it makes me feel like I'm being productive. So I get up out the bed. I'm like, okay, let me make my bed up, and of course, just do if I'm gonna put a load of laundry in before I start work or whatever the situation is. Like, I have a routine that makes me feel like you're being like I am being. I get way more work done now that I have a routine. I get up in the morning on time, take the kids to school. Like, we just gave up meat recently. That's been awesome. Mind clear, not as cloudy. Like, it's just, you just choose how your day is going to go.
Right. And the fear of going backwards is something that sits in my head a lot. So that is what makes me and forces me to be like, okay, keep going forward, because we can't do the backward stuff.
At all.
I can't. I am determined to never take 30 steps back. Forward. Just take 50 steps back. Not doing it.
Especially when we discussed before that God is going to wait on you. Meaning not like he's sitting around waiting, but he's not going to promote you past your last defeat.
Right. For what, though?
You know? Yeah.
You messing with him. And I don't do that.
Yeah. So let's get into the topic for today. We are talking about manifestation. And it's funny because how we just started this manifesting where we are now, like making a decision. We do vision boards. We did one this year with our friends, and looking back on the vision boards that we did a couple years ago and how they are manifesting. The podcast is one of them. Traveling is one of them. I've had love on mine and was married.
You, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, let's talk about that. The power of manifestation. What did that come from? Like, what were we doing when that was triggered to talk about it today?
I know that we were discussing things for podcasts, and we had a lot of things that we thinking about now we had already put in place 4 years ago. And so we were like, and I don't want to get too deep in detail because that's coming soon, so I don't want to share everything, but we were like, we already wanted to do that 4 years ago before we had the platform that we do now. And so our wheels just started spinning of the gems that God dropped on us and the power of saying, Lord, this is what we want. And him not saying, no, you're never going to get it, but saying just not right now. And so that's what that was for us.
I mean, I think we could be kind of technical and say what's coming up, or should we wait? Nah, okay. So we said don't. But yes, to piggyback off of what you're saying, we did definitely 4 years ago, a lot of things that we have positioned back then are like a breeze now because it was already we prepared it. But it didn't manifest until now.
Right.
But we had it prepared in 2020. And that's what it was. We were on the phone talking about it because we were making, launching dates and different things like that. And I was like, yo, we already had this already sitting in the...
And I'm like, huh?
I'm like, yeah, I did this 4 years ago. Like, it's already set up, password, registration, like it's already done. Not knowing that now was the time. The Lord was like, prepare the table. I got you.
Yeah. So that just showed me, don't be afraid to think outside of the box. You don't have to have it right now. We had no tools. We had no platform. We had no producer. We had nobody to help us. We didn't even know how we was going to get there. But we said, this is what we see. And God blew on it because that's what he wanted for our life as well.
Yes.
I think a lot of the confusion with manifestation is, oh, I'm going to say it, and then it's just going to happen. If God said so, it's going to happen. That's what it is. For me,
understanding timing and season, though, because I know what we saw in 2020, but it didn't manifest when we thought, just because we did the work, we thought it was going to do it right then.
Right.
And it didn't. We were still recording. We didn't have the fan base or the following that, that is growing to now. That really wasn't the reason why we were doing it either.
Right.
We did it because we felt like God had led us to start this platform. And so we did. But that goes to say, anybody out there that you believe that God is laid on your heart to start something, it may not be what you see it to be immediately. It may take time. It may be 2 years. It may be 3 years. It may be 6 months. Sometimes it's 30 days. It just depends on the season and time that it's supposed to be manifested, but it will as long as you put in the work.
Right, which brings in the famous thing that everybody says, the fear of failure, because it's a thing. You'll say it. You'll say, well, this is where I see myself at. This is where I want to be. And then you back up because you're scared that you won't succeed. That just wasn't a thing for us. It was like, I see it and I know that this is going to happen. Whether or not it was 10 years from now or whether it was a year from the day that we said we saw it, we was just so determined. And I think that's the difference. You put in the work behind your determination.
My mom told me something years ago, and it just stuck with me specifically. She said, when you get over people, you'll be great in God. And I didn't understand exactly what she meant by that, but now I get what she was saying is a lot of things that I did, a lot of things that we do as people, we do it based on the premises of what people are going to perceive and what they think about us. I'm going to give an example of real estate. Like I've been in real estate since 2014, 2015, but I took, because I'm a broker now, but back then I was just a real estate agent.
Right.
But before I became a real estate agent, you had to take the test. You know, while I was in school, I took the class. While I was in the class, literally like a couple weeks after my mom, that's when she passed away.
Right.
Okay. So when that happened, I had to take a step back and say, I'm not doing this right this very moment. I have to go, you know, take care of situations or whatever, family issues. I came back, the school let me come back to finish the class. And then I took another break because they give you like 2 years to take the state board as many times as you want to. Now in that process, I think it was about 3 to 6 months that I had to take a break, but I failed that state board test 4 times before I passed on the 5th time. And do you know how embarrassing that is? Like people are like, oh, you're so smart, you're so intelligent, da 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 da. And you telling people, y'all pray for me, I'm going to take this test. And 4 times I failed. And each time that I failed, and they tell you, because you have to get like a 75%, I think it is. But if you don't, they tell you which ones that you got wrong. And I was failing by like 2 questions. But it made me more hungry to be like, I ain't giving the. And one time it was like 60-something% or 50 when I first started it, right? But I was having a conversation, and I said a lot of people do not go for it because you're afraid that you won't succeed. You're afraid that people are going to laugh at you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you if you win.
I'm telling you, they're going like a dog.
So if I'm going to make my life and my family's life better than what it is now, and the only thing that's stopping me is me, then I'm gonna get out of my own way. Because at the end of it, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody is paying your bills. Nobody is studying with you. Nobody is doing any of those things. So why does your opinion matter more than mine about me? Because you're gonna talk regardless. And so now sitting back now as a broker and not as a, if I would have stopped,
You wouldn't.
if I would have said I failed the second time or the first time, don't even worry about it. I'm sitting here in 2024 as a licensed real estate broker of Florida. Back then, trying to just be a real estate agent, and you have to wait 2 years to even apply. And when I went to go take the broker, I didn't pass the first time.
Right.
Can we really be honest?
Yes.
But I knew what I saw. I knew what I wanted.
That's it.
It didn't matter how many times it took me to get to it. I knew that I was determined to do and go after what God had showed me. And it took a while to do so, but work and faith together is what makes manifestation.
Yep.
It's not enough for the Christians to just believe and say, oh God, I believe. And you're not doing any work to manifest what God promised you, what he showed you.
A lot of the ideas and a lot of the thoughts that we have come from God. So if I'm saying I want to be this, the Lord dropped that in your spirit because that's what he sees for you. Now, don't get it confused. Some of the thoughts that we think are not of God. I want to make that very clear. But a lot of the successful ways and a lot of the things that become successful are dropped from the Lord. So when you manifest it, God's like, yeah, bet. But now you got to put the work in, because like we talk about all the time, he's not going to bless something that you're not putting any work in, because then his blessings fall short, and he don't operate like that. So the power of manifesting, see it, believe it, succeed, push to achieve it. If in that middle ground, if you're not driving to get to the destination, you ain't never going to get there.
Another reason why it was important for me to finish strong is because I know my kids watching me. I'm not going to tell them to do something that I can't do. I'm going to tell you not to give up, and math is hard, and football is hard, and basketball is hard, and all these different things are hard, but keep going. And here I am. I'm not continuing what I'm preaching to you. So put your big girl undies on and make some shake, because you really can't. I can't do all things. The scripture had to become alive in me. The scripture says I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. So I didn't know that I was going to need strength, because this thing is hard. He gives me strength to do all things. Those all things is whatever he's put in me to make manifest in the earth. So yes, I'm crying. Yes, I'm upset. Yes, I'm defeated. Yes, I thought when I put that last question in that I had, and that was difficult to do because I'm sitting there like, you mean to tell me that I am really good test taker, like for real. But that test, it was either you know it or you don't.
Right.
To sit there and say, I know I passed. I believe I passed. And they said, so we got to try again. Over and over and over again. But that's why I keep saying, do it again. Go back to school. That's nothing. Going back to school. I graduated in 2007.
Oh, she's showing her age.
Oh, shut up. I did. And I am just now, I will be finishing college, bachelor's degree this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not afraid of my testimony because I'm still going.
Mm-hmm. When you say do it for your kids, I think about people that say, what if I don't have kids? One, you will, but it doesn't always have to be about do it for your children. If you don't have some, do it for your sister. Do it for your mom who didn't get a chance to because she had you and said that she couldn't accomplish anything else. Do it for your friend who is looking at you saying, I don't have it in me, but they see somebody that's pushing, they'll say, well, maybe I can do it too. So don't get caught up in, the what I don't have and who I'm gonna do it for. Do it for you.
I was about to say, that is a great reason until you have the courage to do it for yourself, because ultimately you should do it for you.
Bottom line.
Because it's not just me, and I can't be selfish and say, oh, I'm doing this for myself, because I have generations behind me. They are my why. My husband, my family is my why. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have that, it should be for you.
Right.
But if you can't find the energy, you can't find the power and the reason to do it for yourself, then find someone else that has spoken life into you, whether it be your sister or your brother or your niece or your nephew or your mom or your dad, somebody around you pushing you, somebody, your grandma who, and even if they're not in the body anymore, they're still watching you.
Right.
Cheering you on.
Yeah.
Get up out the bed and make some shake.
Transparently, single people use that as an excuse. I know a lot of people that have come and said, well, you know what? I didn't do it for nobody else but my kids. But you didn't have kids until you was 28. Mm-hmm. So now you didn't do nothing for yourself until you had a reason to. That's beyond me now. You got to do it for you, and then you have the capability to do it for somebody else. You cannot lack you and then be able to be stronger for somebody else. That don't work like that.
And I believe it's because of lack of exposure.
Sure.
Sometimes you don't know what you're missing because you never had it. Mm-hmm. So if you've never tasted success, then you don't know what you're missing. It's like it's a dream that you don't know if it's attainable. Mm-hmm. And so you doing daily basis, and then you have the world we live in right now where the cost of living is extremely high. You get sucked up into the lifestyle of I'm just going to work, go home, and do me. And you're afraid to dream. Dreaming is free.
It's free. Y'all do it every night. Y'all dream every single night. And listen, I know that I can speak for me and you. We are dreamers like God drops gems, but I know we can't be the only people in the world. So when you're dreaming, really concentrate and think of, sometimes we can't remember our dreams when we wake up, but sometimes they're vivid. Take bits and pieces of them dreams, because we bigger, we powerful people, more powerful people in our dreams than we are in real life. And then we wake up like, dang, that would be cool. No, really see if you can strive for that for real. You're not dreaming for no reason.
God is the God of provision. When he gives you vision, he will provide provision. For everything that I have put my hand to do that I've saw in a vision, my prayer is, Lord, if this is what you have called me to do, then grant me the provision to make this vision come to pass. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of things that we want to do, it's timing. It's timing. It's timing. And while I am waiting, I'm working. While I'm waiting for God to blow in my direction, I'm working. What are you working on, Nyja? I'm studying to show myself approved. I am opening myself up to forgive. A lot of times people are stagnant and not being prosperous because you will not forgive people who have harmed you, people who have hurt you. So you're holding on to this poison, holding on to it saying, I want to be blessed, I want to be blessed, but you're going to kill the next person because you are not whole. You're not healed. Mm-hmm. Forgiveness, that is the pump of your heart. That's how you keep blood flowing, by forgiving. If I had $1 for every time somebody has offended me on purpose.
I'd be rich. A millionaire, baby.
But you know what? Forgiveness, authentically. It doesn't mean you got to be and sit at the same table as we discussed last time. I ain't got to sit to the same table as you, but I do have to forgive you to let it all, to get it off of me.
Yeah. Because I want you to win. What do you mean? But understanding, like we keep talking about, these things just, they're not going to happen overnight. Like I think about the example of somebody wanting a child. You go through the motions of conceiving a child. Boom, you're pregnant. It takes 9 months to get to the result. But then between the 9 months, you're preparing for the child.
Let's talk about that, because we have some women who deal with fertility issues. And I know a couple stories of the Lord showing them they had a child. And for some, it's as easy as just having sex.
Right.
Like, boob, you're pregnant. But for some, it's a work. It's a work in progress that you have to do. What does that mean? I got to go to the fertility specialist. I got to take shots. I got to do have sex at certain times of the month, because it's a work to get to the promise.
Yeah.
But that's your task. For someone else, it may not be that. It may be you supposed to start a business, but you keep getting told no for the loan, no. So for somebody else, it's like, oh, they got all the funds in the world.
It was just so easy for me.
That is your testimony.
Right.
That's the way that God is going to make his name great in the earth, from your testimony.
Right. Your pregnancy may have been the best pregnancy in the world, but your postpartum is terrible. Or your postpartum was the worst postpartum in the world, but your stories are, everybody's story is different. How you get to your result is different.
But it still requires faith.
Yes.
And it still requires work.
Yes.
Faith and work. Now the situation is going to be different.
Right.
But those two ingredients work in every situation. Regardless. Whether you're trying to lose weight. For somebody else, it's like, oh, they go to the gym, boom, 30 days, 60 days, they out.
Yeah.
Somebody else is like, yo, my metabolism slow. I don't have the energy. I don't know what's going on. I have one piece of bread.
Yeah.
And I got to gain 2 pounds.
Now I'm fat. And then some people get on Ozempic.
Or their metabolism just faster in general. Like you can have all the carbs in the world and you are this big, and somebody else that does it and they live. I mean, it's like, are you serious? I just had a grain of rice. Like, what is the difference? But faith and work. So now I have to change my game plan. Yours is easy in that capacity, but I guarantee you, and you probably, but my finances are better than yours. But I have family, a community, and you don't. Like, everybody has their thing that they're struggling with. Everybody has a vision that works a little bit different than the other person. But because we looking at each other and we're comparing each other, it makes you say, well, because mine ain't happening as fast as hers, and I guess I ain't supposed to do it. No, you're supposed to find a new avenue.
Yeah. Yep.
You're supposed to find a different way. You're supposed to pave a different way. Because your tribe is saying, oh, well, they did it this way. But instead you saying, woe is me.
Yeah.
It ain't meant for me.
The pity party. We love that. Oh, I can't do it.
Get over yourself.
Oh, I can't succeed. Or everybody else around me is doing it. Everybody else around you is also putting in the work. Everybody else around you also wants it for them and their generations and the people around you and their family. But you, oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. I can speak on that because, oh, it was me. And was in the same position. The time done went on. The world done been spinning. And you in the same spot.
But you also had friends around you that spoke life into you.
Yes.
And that's why when our first episode, we said at the end of the day, you need to find a level of accountability and true, authentic friends that's not going to let you sit there. Anything around me that ain't moving, gotta move.
Yeah.
Away from me.
Away from me.
Do you understand?
Baby, if I'm on number 6 on the incline on this treadmill and I'm going and I'm moving and you on 3, we got to figure it out.
Do you understand me?
We got to figure it out.
Do you know how many conversations I've had with people that was I said, listen to me good. Listen to me real good.
Yeah.
I've gone through too much to be stagnant right now. And so what I'm looking at with you being close to me, this is what I view. I'm going to call out the tough things because I desire for you to say the same thing to me.
Yep.
And so if I was in your situation, I'm going to talk to you real. I'm going to be for real about the situation. You got to get up. You got to move. You got to dream. You got to research. You got to give yourself grace to grow. Because if you're not, then you're dying.
You're dying. You're not watering nothing.
You are existing and not living.
And then you 60 years old, that's young. Then you 80 years old, sitting in that rocking chair saying, I didn't have no life. Miserable. Can't even clap for nobody else.
And bitter about it. And the worst regret is, I wish I would have tried.
Yeah.
What would have happened if I would have tried? Oh my gosh. Don't waste your life hoping and thinking that life is not going to pass you by, because it will.
It will. Change it to, I tried and look.
Or I tried this and it may not have been that, but it led to this.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Steve Harvey said all of us got the same 24 hours every day. What you decide to do with your 24 and my 24 is what makes a difference.
Yep. You gonna sleep all day or you gonna work all day?
Or you gonna do half and half?
I'm gonna do half and half. No. I'm gonna do half and half, baby, because I be sleepy weepy.
And you need help.
I got to go to sleep. Got to go to sleep so I can get up and be able to push.
Oh, okay.
So I was about to go into a word. I ain't gonna hold you.
Come on and get
I felt it in my belly, but not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Because I'm ready.
Be for real.
I am serious.
Yeah. But this was great conversation.
It really was.
I'm telling you, this thing be for me more than it be for y'all. I'm telling you.
Me too.
I'm telling you.
Me too. I be encouraging myself in the Lord. And so I know that this topic is for a lot of y'all.
Oh, yeah.
With us.
Oh, yeah.
So we were talking about you going to school. Get your butt up and go to school. And we was talking about you getting up, losing weight. Get up and lose weight. And we was talking about starting a business. Start a business. Make up your bed every day.
Yeah. And get out of your woe it's me.
Yes.
Yep.
Do something with your hair. Go get your nails done. Go walk on the beach. Get up.
Yeah. I'm about to go get a feel as soon as we hang up. All right. So in herself, she is loved.
In herself, she is beautiful.
In herself, she is strong. See you next week, guys.